Apple, ticker AAPL, do have their conference later today. It's going to be 1 p.m. Eastern, and that's why we're seeing quite a lot of volume and movement in the stock today. So to get straight into it, this stock is actually really respecting levels today, which may mean it can be quite easy to trade coming into the event, but again, we'll have to see how it goes. But to quickly just go into the intraday time frame, just so we can quickly see how it's moving today. Firstly, you have the anchored VWAP currently at around 178.70, and we can see in the morning came through, retested, and then we broke straight down, and then we came down to our 177.80 support, bounced off here, retested, broke through, which you would expect on that second test, retested it as a resistance, and now we're setting off once again. So it's really respecting the levels we had planned out for the day. Again, anchor VWAP we're always paying attention to, and then this level here, what this is our 6-month first deviation. So again, that's going to be from this chart over here. So though, to cover the rest of the levels that we want to be paying attention to coming into this event, and then also just coming into kind of the end of the week and going into next week. So the main things I'm paying attention to is, firstly, again, we can be looking for this potential gap fill. This will be paying attention to if in this event we come in more bullish. Now, one thing to note is, again, we're always looking at history, what happens at Apple's events normally. Normally with these events, you kind of get a bit of buying pressure coming into the event, and then once the event starts or around ends, you tend to get that sell-off. So again, we're taking that into account, but if overall it does come into a lot more strength, then we do have that gap fill location around 183 to be paying attention to. If we go higher, we then come into the fair value area of 188.50 to 197, which would also take us into the 52-week high. And just to note supports, again, because it's not just today we're looking at, also paying attention to the end of this week coming into next week. We do also have a resistance just to be paying attention to at 207.50, but it seems quite far-fetched. We probably won't be seeing that. So I guess the main upside targets will be the gap fill around 183, the 188.50, and the 197, again, for that fair value range. Now to start paying attention to more supports and the lower down levels. So we do have our level at 177.80. This is our 6-month first deviation. Again, this is the one we talked about intraday. We bounced the first time we came into it, then we broke through, retested, and now we're selling off again. So again, on the event, that's going to be the real decider of what happens off the event. If it takes us down, then we'll be looking all the way down to kind of take us down to the support at 169.50. That would be the key support we're paying attention to. Again, it's still quite a big move just to happen off the event, because that would be a 4% move, but definitely possible if maybe there's a lot of differs from the leaks. So 169.50 support, and if we went any lower, 158.60. So again, just to recap, we have levels 177.80, 169.50, and 158.60 as somewhat supports. Again, that why I say somewhat is because this 177.80 is kind of a support / resistance depending which side of it we are on. And then again, resistances, we have the fair value range between 188.50 and 197, and if we're somehow able to break that in the near term, 207.50, which would be our first deviation from the 1 year.